This week on the Free Play Podcast, Kate reads yet another entry to her Red Dead diary. Matt plays his 41st play of Marvel Champions, and I catch you up on the adventure that is playing Gloomhaven. Well, starting it anyways. Hey, thanks for spending just a little bit of time with us this week on the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network.
What's up, nerds? My name is Bubba Stallcup, and you're listening to the Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Nerd podcast network. And join with me, as always, are my co-hosts and a few of my co-founders here at Love Thy Nerd, Matt Warmbier.
What it do?
Who's really close to that mic, and Kate Katawaki.
Hello.
I wanted
who
you to hear me
is a
breathing.
comfortable distance away.
I'm trying.
No, I wanted you to hear me breathing. Still doing it. Take that, everybody.
That's what you, well,
Pretty sure with
yeah,
just a ton of
several times a minute.
a ton of people subscribed just now just because of that.
Absolutely. Oh, this is an ASMR podcast. I'm here for this.
I hate those things. They're not for me. I'm sorry, everybody.
Well, it's too late.
You already did it.
I said I'm sorry. I hate them.
No takesies, backsies.
Well,
Hey, you know what? That was probably what our newest listener to the Free Play Podcast wanted to hear. Kate,
yep.
take it away.
Just a huge shout out to Jeremy Paetzel. He's our latest listener. I've known him since high school.
That we know of.
Latest listener that we know of. But just huge congratulations to you, Jeremy. Your prize will be in the mail.
No, this is his prize.
Oh, that was, I already gave it to him.
We're still going to charge him for shipping, but this is his prize.
Shipping
right
an empty box. So
No. We're not going to actually ship anything.
I take that back.
We're going to charge him for shipping.
Yeah, that's how you make your money.
This is his prize.
So you owe us $15.
Just PayPal it.
You know where to find me.
That's adequate.
You know where to find me.
Hey, speaking of Matt and I being put into contact with people that you know in your life, you put us into a text message group
Just like you wanted.
with somebody this week.
Let it be known, just like you two wanted and said on the episode
We
last
usually
week.
don't get what we ask for.
Well,
That's
This-
really
this
true.
year, or this time we got
I
it.
said that I would make you a deal. And the deal was that I would pick one person from the group text that I was in and put you two in another group text with this person. And I would say that I followed through.
Yeah, the best part of that deal is that there was no other side of it for Matt and I. Like, that was the extent of the deal.
What do you mean?
Was that I will put you into this. Like, you didn't expect anything from us. That's not a deal.
No, the
A deal is like an
Yeah,
agreement
it
between
wasn't
two
the
much of a
people.
deal was that I
That was
would
like a gift.
put you. Yeah, okay, fine. I gave you this gift of being in this group text with my friend Greg.
Not old Greg, just regular Greg. Okay, so tell everybody about Greg.
Just like how I met Greg, or what?
Yeah,
Or
like
just- or what
why
else?
was it important for you to put us in a group with him?
Because one, you kept saying so on the last episode, as I've said before already today.
I don't remember that.
Okay, go back and listen to the episode.
Nah,
Matt never
I
will.
also chose Greg because I felt like he's on the same page with the two of you about a lot of things, especially when it comes to, what's the word? I don't want to say bullying, but
Yeah, how about we don't?
no, it's definitely not bullying.
I'm
almost-
feeling
No,
personally
you're
attacked
fine,
right
yeah,
now.
you're bullying me.
No, it's not.
bro.
It's not bullying. I just thought it would bring you joy to hear about his thoughts about me. Did it bring you joy?
It has brought me varying levels of joy throughout this journey so far. And we can just kind of catch people up a little bit because they're not in this text group. But the very first thing that he shared with us was a picture of Kate and the Beebs.
That is,
And he
Photoshop,
was,
by the way.
well, I don't know if he was wearing a sign, but it says Kate's Coffee, Kate's Office.
and-
It's real blurry.
Yeah, because it's
Kate's
a very old
Office.
photo.
So tell us about when you met Justin Bieber.
First of all, I did not meet Justin Bieber. This is a photoshopped image. You could probably tell
It looks
because
really good.
in the picture I'm blonde. I've never been blonde. he just copied and pasted my face over. It was one of those. No, it was that website called like Face in Whole, and you pick a picture and then you just upload the other person's face. So he picked a thing because I said I like Justin Bieber once. He picked a thing.
No, it's just like you.
Yeah, right?
I mean, it is my face.
We'll post it. We'll post it on our Twitter
Okay.
at Free
Yeah,
Play
we'll post it on the
Podcast. Be
Twitter.
sure to go and check that
We're
out.
trying to do that more. But I've known Greg for a very long time.
Whoops. I think I just called that group on accident. Looking at the photo. You're welcome, everybody.
No, it didn't. No, I don't see
Okay.
it.
Good.
No.
Whoops.
But
Yeah, FaceTime ended.
he probably would have answered. I've known my friend Greg since 2008. He was a tour bus driver for my band, and I've known him ever since. And he has stuck around. And also, he left me on a curb going to Target and said that he didn't. But I said, how would I know what time to be at the curb? So
What?
Yeah, I don't even know where to go with that.
it is what it is. There's
but
nothing.
he shared a lot of good. He shared a lot of good stuff with us. There's a picture here of Kate petting a donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I think I've seen a lot of that. There's a picture here of In-N-Out sneakers. I guess like slip-ons. They look like Vans.
Would you wear those?
Kate, would you wear those?
No,
Be
I
real.
wouldn't. I'm a Nike person.
I would.
I would wear
Are
them.
you serious?
I would wear them
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Bubba, you don't like
Those look
onion,
dope.
and they have onion there.
They don't know. Mine are without onion, sans onion. Matt, I gave Matt my onions.
Yeah.
They're in
I eat 'em.
his shoes.
Thanks.
The thing is that this group text, I knew the three of you, if you really wanted to, could all roast me at the same time. And I was
Well, I
willing
just-
for
I
that to
renamed the group.
happen. I just wanted you guys to be happy.
Yeah.
What's the renamed group?
I'm just enjoying the ride is really what it is because I think
roast.
that
Matt Warmbier named the conversation Kate's Roast today at 2:39 p.m. Pacific time. All right.
Oh, the past.
that's right now.
It's
Yeah.
starting. So I just wanted, well, no, I actually didn't want to. This was the deal I made to you two. And I picked someone who I thought would be
live
entertaining.
up to our end of the bargain.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Thank you.
I feel like we do enough roasting here that it's good just to sit back and enjoy
watch
the
someone
roast.
else do it.
Just watch it.
100%.
Yeah, just watch it.
Oh, yeah. And then,
I think that if there's anything that you can roast him on, you need to go for it.
Yeah. We'll
I did-
support you.
I'm not picking sides.
I did say that he did make a post about how Chick-fil-A was collecting laundry because there was a clothes rack in the Chick-fil-A, and it turns out they were collecting recycled used prom dresses for poor people, and he was complaining that there was a laundry in them. So I did roast him about
That's good. That's a solid roast
Just-
right there.
saying
Leave it to Chick-fil-A
just
to do something admirable. But what about this? What about these Chick-fil-A kicks that I see in this group? Matt, would you wear those?
Oh, 100%.
They look almost like golf shoes.
Yeah, I would wear those as well.
I don't know. I just thought this would be, you know what? I thought this would be a nice present to the two of you.
Well, I mean, thanks for adding us to this group. Like it's good that every time my phone dings, it's another angel gets its wings. So I'm happy about that.
Well, you're welcome. I think I've picked a good person here, and I saw already, Matt, you're Facebook friends with him.
We are. And because of that, I'm now like getting suggestions for your other bandmates.
All right. Well,
And I'm like just debating friending
Here
them.
we go. I'm gonna friend all of them.
I'm going to say do what you want, do what you think is right. And
Well, the one I
suffer
said the other day,
consequences.
you said was probably the best one.
Yeah.
I won't say any names.
Matt, if
She knows who she
we
is.
do this, if we follow this face group recommended Kate's friends line
Oh, yeah,
far enough down, we will get into that Clash of Clans group.
No, the Clash of
Yes.
Clans
We
is
have
fun.
to.
Yes.
We have to.
I'm only friends with
That's the
two
only
people
place
from
this
that.
can end.
And it's
find 'em.
possible. It's possible we get to tour with KSM. They
were the-
need
Well, that's a
bearded people.
that's a given.
Yeah,
Those
they
were the
need
good old
bearded
days.
people.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
I guess I'm
we're a
in.
demographic they're not reaching.
We didn't really have anybody that was bearded,
Now you do.
so
You're welcome.
Yep, you're welcome.
Well,
this is
alright.
what we bring to the table.
Do you want a real photo of you in the Beebs? Thought so.
No.
You're gonna need us.
It's gonna look a little different now than it would have
I mean, you've seen my Photoshop skills.
100 years ago.
I know your Photoshop skills are better than my friend Greg's Photoshop skills. So
Well,
maybe
I actually know how to use Photoshop, and when Matt's around, I don't want to. I just want what Matt can give us
Yeah.
from
Well, my phone
Photoshop
does
or
a-
whatever he uses. What do you even
creates
use? You
quality
don't use Photoshop.
no, it's not Photoshop.
You use Photonaut.
No, I have one that's called Cut Me In. I can like just cut out wherever you are from one photo and paste you in. Sometimes I do Make a Meme. That's a pretty good one.
Natch. Yeah.
So those
Cut
are
out the middleman. I
Those
like
are the
it.
two I usually use.
all right. Well, good to know.
Not a sponsor.
That- I
yeah,
mean, that is
but if
the
they want to be,
sponsor.
hey, hit us up. No, it's funny that you should bring that up, Kate, because
Sponsor.
today's sponsor is Drew Dixon's brand new Survivor podcast with his wife, Jen. And they're working on names right now, so it's not important what it's called. I guess if you're looking for it, it would be important what it's called.
Well,
It's
I
called
told him he
Survivor
should call it
Spouse
Soul-
Strategy.
Survivor, say it again.
Survivor Spouse Strategy.
Spouse
no, I think that's
strategy
There you go.
I
podcast.
think that's Survivor's Spouse Strategy. It's different.
I told him he needs to call it Soul Survivors with an S. Like, do you remember what was that Airheads that they were like what was the name? It had Adam Sandler in it and like the guy from The Mummy and also Tarzan.
Got nothing. Brendan Fraser.
What's his name? Brendan Fraser. And like they were like they took over a radio station and they were like punk rockers and stuff like that. Also like Wild Stallions, like, you know, like that kind of stuff. But anyway, you should seriously, as I'm serious as a heart attack, go and check out their podcast. We're throwing a little fun at it, but it is a legit podcast. I was talking to Drew just today, earlier during our staff meeting. I can't get over how much Jen knows about Survivor. Like, she knows more about Survivor than I know about people that are in my house. It's just crazy.
I need to listen to it.
They would talk
Can't
about something, and Drew would be like, "Oh, do you remember that one time?" She's like, "Yeah, that was with so and so on season whatever the bull crap." And so like it was just crazy how she was able to pull that information out of her brain, and it just kept going. Like, if they didn't shut the podcast down for that episode, she could have kept going.
Well, I mean, with 40 seasons of Survivor, there's a lot of info to glean. That's crazy.
Yeah, and she retains most of it. So you should check it out. On their very first episode, like, Drew and Jen talk about how they fell in love with Survivor, a show that I've not watched. I love reality television. I really do. I really, really, really love reality television. But I kind of stayed away from Survivor. I don't know why. Listening to this podcast makes me want to kind of get back into it. But they talk about how they fell in love with it, and then they make their picks for who they think is going to be the winner of this season.
Wow.
And then they discuss like almost every single other former champion's chances to be crowned as sole survivor again.
The spouse's strategy, Survivor strategy.
We will have a link in the description, but you can find their podcast at soulsurvivorspousestrategy.libsyn.com.
That's-
Don't try and remember that. Don't you dare. Stop it. Stop right now. We're going to have a link in the description. This is something that Drew is doing with his wife, just so that they can do something together and have fun and cut up and stuff. But they're going to actually try and have like former Survivor contestants on the podcast.
Wow.
That's
I
awesome.
am here for this content. I'm here for it. So again, don't worry about it. We're going to link to it. We're going to give you that. They are sponsors for today's episode, in as much as we have just
We're
said
gonna check
they
for
are
this?
sponsors.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
he's the
Yeah,
sponsor.
one immunity idol.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a sponsor. He gave us
perfect.
an immunity idol. So
Did he?
Yeah.
I just got
valid
shit if it's
at
crazy.
any participating lubies. You can use that
Those lovies.
immunity idol.
Dang.
Well, I'm not here. So it's also available on Apple Podcasts here pretty soon. But like I said, you're gonna want to listen to it. If you're not a fan of Survivor, it really doesn't matter, because you probably will be by the end of that
Probably.
podcast.
And let it be known that we are the
Yeah.
first ones to like announce this on the airwaves. So we got the exclusive dibs.
Wow.
This is it. This is why you guys come to Free Play Podcast.
This is what we've been
hot
waiting.
content right there. That's
Exclusives.
hot content. Ooh-wee.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, speaking of hot content, Kate,
Yes.
you've got a story from going to Death Valley that's going to lead in to your Red Dead Diary
Yes,
entry for today.
My Red Dead Diary entry.
So which one do you want to start with? Do you want to start with your Red Dead Diary entry, or do you want to start with your Death Valley story?
I'm going to start with my Death Valley story. This was actually for Matt, but
Perfect.
I thought that, why not share it with everyone?
I'll go ahead and listen
because
to
you
it.
could listen to it as well.
Well, can you go talk about your dog was howling? I heard it.
Yeah,
okay.
Bubba, go
Yeah, I'll
talk
get
to
another
your
cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dog. Well,
All right,
actually,
I'll be back.
Steven and I are going to Death Valley. Well, by the time you hear this, we'll already be there. Oh my gosh, he's
for real, it's
leaving.
leaving. Yeah, he's for real leaving.
left.
Yeah, he'll listen to it later. That's fine. Go ahead. You're going
He'll
to Death
listen
Valley.
to it later. This story was for you anyways. So we're going to Death Valley again this week for Thursday through Sunday. It's not going to be super hot that I saw. But anyways, it reminded me of the story from the last trip that we did that I did not tell you, that now after playing Red Dead, I view a little bit differently.
Okay.
So we were on our way out of Death Valley and we stopped at this ghost town called Ballarat. And
That
it's
sounds
near
made up.
It's near Jackpot Canyon.
These are all really, really wonderful names for places and cities.
It's near Jackpot Canyon. Unforgettable.
Jackpot.
On this it's on this dry lake bed, right? Okay. So we stopped there just to look around. And when you hear that it's a ghost town, that means there's no people, right?
Spoopy, yeah.
So we walked into this general store thing. I opened the door and there's 4 people just sitting in there that were clearly from there. And I'm like, where did you... I have no idea where they lived. There's nothing out there. 4 people in there clearly owned the general store. There was a tray sitting out with little Dixie cups on it. And we walked in and we're like, hello. And they asked if we wanted samples of the moonshine they made because it was in these Dixie cups.
Did you say yes?
I said no.
Does
But
Steven
now
say
that I've
yes?
played, he said no also, but now that I've played Red Dead, I feel like I maybe should have said yes.
Wow. Are you going back there?
I think we're going to go back there. On our way out, we'll probably
Could you buy anything?
No, that was the thing. There was nothing in there to buy.
Okay,
So what's the
just
point?
wondering.
There was just free moonshine samples.
They're squatters is what it was.
Yeah, well, my question number 1 is where did you make the moonshine? I didn't see anything
Out
there.
of the desert
I
water.
didn't see anything. All that was there was, there was a grave there and some like old buildings from the late 1800s, and there was a grave for Dusty Dan. I don't know who he is, but he was born in 1897.
Okay.
And his
A rough
grave
year.
said he was survived by 3 wives. I'm just saying how it was spelled, wives.
Okay. Yeah, wife sees.
15 offspring, 2 burro, and 1 dog.
Oh, no names.
He
Just
didn't
Dusty
give
Dan.
any names, or at least it didn't say any names, but I don't know. It just had that feeling of like a Red Dead side quest that could go really bad.
Well, I want you to go back and see if they're still there.
I will, if they're still there, maybe I will accept the moonshine.
Okay.
Are you guys still talking about this?
Well, we're about ready to get into the diary entry now.
Okay, we're okay.
Yeah,
All right,
now
cool.
Yeah,
for the
perfect
Red Dead
timing.
Diary entry, please do the sound.
There you go.
This is perfect.
All right. Should I say who the quote is from before or after I read it?
After.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a serious quote. I don't know why I'm laughing. All right, here we go.
We won't look at you.
I will.
Yeah, well, I really am still.
We all just gonna get shot like any other hoodlum. Put down like any other pest. And all that stuff we believed in was just something to make us better at killing folks. Faster at running away. Well, I guess it is what it is. And right now, this is it. Ain't never gonna see my son grown up. Ain't never gonna atone for my sins. Ain't never nothing but gonna get shot for 'em. I hope God can forgive me for what I done on this earth, 'cause ain't much I'm proud of, and a whole lot I hope he's forgotten about. It's a quote.
That's
a
awesome.
quote by John Marston, sitting around the fire.
Oh.
Man, that's good.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Snaps. Yeah, snaps.
The real voice actor has such a dope like smoker's
No, I think
voice.
you
It's
kind of
so
nailed
good.
it. I knew who it was.
No, you didn't.
He probably
I
made
did.
No, you didn't. No,
I did.
He does the good old fashioned Marlboro. Sponsored.
Marlboro.
Not a sponsor.
No, not yet.
Not a sponsor.
Not until we say their name right.
Yeah. That was my best try.
I don't know. Drew's podcast was a sponsor. We totally butchered that.
Sorry, Drew.
Yeah.
You did know who it was?
You had the intonation of the way he speaks. Congratulations.
Thanks. I practiced it in the bathroom before I came in here.
I could tell. Yeah, I could tell. Definitely a bathroom speech. But you finished Red Dead 1, right, Kate? We're gonna move on.
I did.
what we've been playing here.
I pushed through the unpleasant experience of playing a 10-year-old game on an Xbox 360.
Mm-hmm.
It did bring me some closure. There was a couple points that happened that I was genuinely sad.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Look, Steven, look!" And he missed it.
Look now.
Sounds about right. Every time, Steven. Every time.
Every time you miss it. He didn't look fast enough. So I finished that, and I didn't know it. Immediately, I wanted to play Red Dead 2 again.
I know.
It was really hard, so I killed that inside of me. I put both the Red Dead boxes away from the living room. I put them in my...
Oh, you had to, like, get
I
them
had
out.
to purge it all. So I put the boxes, they're right there on this shelf in here.
You're just looking at you.
Looking at me, I feel
Partner.
it. Cowpoke. And I'm going to be honest, I had to stoop real low, okay, so that I wouldn't play Red Dead 2 again.
I'm actually glad you're saying this because it really, we never want to judge what you play, but yeah, stooping low. Go ahead.
I
Yep.
booted up The Sims 4
Mm-hmm.
to stop
wow.
myself from going into the living room and putting the disc in for the other game.
Well,
I had no choice. I had to.
let me ask
It
you
was
a question
self-defense.
here.
What?
Do you have a cowboy themed outfit for your sim?
No.
Or not
That would
yet?
be too much. That would
No,
be
she
too much.
she has to stay far away.
Yeah.
No, you
as
bring
I sit
Red Dead
in my,
into the Sims.
As I sit in my Red Dead themed office.
Sim Dead Redemption.
I have to stay far away. I also started.
Sims Dead Dimension 4.
Yeah.
All right.
Or Sims
Keep
Dead
trying.
Redemption
Keep adding numbers.
4. Sorry, what?
Tried to play more of Jedi Fallen Order. I got so angry that I wanted to throw my controller at the TV. But if I did that, then I wouldn't have the TV anymore.
Wouldn't be able to play Red Dead anymore, yeah.
Exactly. It would be done. So maybe, I don't know what happened, but I got lost in this enclosed map. Like, how do you get lost? I could not get back to my ship. And I'm like,
What
what's
level?
going on? I was like, I was like yelling, like, this is ridiculous. And like, just, I was,
You're doing
I
great.
was so upset. Like, I had Red Dead rage in me because I was like, I'm gonna quit this and just start Red Dead. This is dumb. I can't believe this.
I think I've
I-
created
Did
a
you
monster.
see the Game Boy Advance or the original Game Boy cartridges
Yeah.
in the community?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was Red Dead Redemption 2 for the red one, Blue Dude Bamboozle 2
Oh, I saw it.
for the blue one, and my favorite one, Yeller Feller Endeavor 2. That was so good.
I saw it and it made me want to play the game. So I really am trying my
Never-
hardest to not play anything Red Dead. I really am trying.
But what about these Game Boy games? You could play these.
No.
Kate and I talked about starting a posse and playing online and streaming
so
for people if we can
So
do
does
it.
that count? Bubba, you'll have to set it up for us because we don't know how. I don't know
Hey,
how
you
that
watch
works.
your mouth.
What are you guys playing on?
We play on PS4.
PlayStation?
Yeah, PS4s.
Okay.
Make it happen, Bubba. Thank you.
You figure it out. I have the game too. Thanks for the invite.
You want
turds.
to? You want to?
No.
The free play posse gang?
The free play posse cast.
No, I'm shutting it down. If Bubba's
No,
had
I'm
the
wearing
game,
a cowboy hat.
no.
And I'm wearing chaps. And I'm wearing spurs.
I'll borrow some.
Finally,
I'll borrow,
finally a reason to wear those chaps.
I'll
get
borrow
us
some from
going.
my stepdad. I'll have some too.
I love that. Just the audio of you unzipping your hoodie. We were just talking about chaps. There's no telling what people are thinking.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
I love
but
it.
I'm really,
I'm off. Can we please? And how about like Kate? Every now and then, when like we're feeling kind of low or we need some motivation, you bust out your journal and you read while we're playing.
Did you see? There's a YouTube video of these two guys who do perfect impersonations of Arthur Morgan and Dutch Vanderlyn, and they're playing online.
I'm not interested in that.
What?
I'm in.
I'm not interested in that. To me, it's too perfect. Where's the Kate? Where's the Kate in it all?
I don't know. I just feel like I might get sucked back in.
You won't, because we won't let you.
It sounds like you're about to.
No, I'm
this is
trying hard.
different.
My
No,
heart
this is a
is to
different
not.
game.
Are you kidding me? You know how much it kills me to sit in here and not play Red Dead 2?
Well, right now, none taken. Yeah, thanks.
I've
now.
created a monster here. I've created a monster.
Yeah, you did this. Are you happy?
A little bit, yeah, I am. But I just want to get that posse
Yeah, I bet
going.
he is.
I want to get that
Well,
posse going. If
I'll consider
you are dear listeners would like for us to stream some Red Dead Online, the free play
Mamacita.
outlaw posse host gang, we're working on the title there a little bit. Soul
The
Survivor.
free play posse cast.
Redacted.
Yeah. Okay. Let us know in this here show post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hit us up on Twitter at Free
and
Play
Bubba will
Podcast.
make it happen. Anyways, Matt, what have you been playing?
He's gonna have
let's
to.
not
You know,
talk
when-
about Red Dead anymore.
Well, not yet. We'll get back to it.
Okay.
I used some of my 15-year anniversary Starbucks money to buy some games. I know. So I went ahead and picked up Role Player, and I picked up the expansion, the Monsters and Minions. Monsters and
Monster
Minions.
Hunter.
Yeah.
The
And
Witcher,
if you haven't
you
played Role Player, you're more or less making a D&D character, but you're drafting dice along the way to put into your stats. So you're aiming for certain goals. Like maybe I want to have an 18 total in my dexterity. So I obviously need to have 3 6s. But there's some things that you can kind of, every slot has a different power that like this one ups a number. This one you can switch places with another die. But it's a lot of fun. I'm a big fan. And I've been trying to think of more games I can play solo, because just every now and then I want to you guys can see behind me, I have a Marvel Champion set up there because I played my 41st game.
Oh, did you bust it out?
Yeah, I just played my 41st game since November 1st of that game, and most of them have been solo.
Who are you playing now? She-Hulk still?
No, I'm back to Cap, man. You can't do it. You gotta be Cap.
Can't quit.
Tomorrow in the mail, I'll be getting.
Was She-Hulk too hard?
Hold
on, let's go back.
Okay.
Was She-Hulk too hard?
I think she's better with more players. She's not a solo. She's not made for solo. At least the way I played it. Maybe I need to do her with another of the attributes or another, whatever you call them, the things.
Yeah.
Maybe trying her with leadership might be better, because that's usually what I do with Cap.
Yeah.
I tried her with Justice, I think, and it just didn't work.
Okay.
It was hard. It was just real hard. She
Yeah.
She likes to, you have to flip back and forth with her, because when she flips over to her She-Hulk side, she does damage. So you're really wanting to flip back and forth, but like in a solo game, you just can't as much.
Yeah. Did you try her with like She-Hulk aggression?
I thought about that too. I need to just probably keep going through. If I'm going to play this game, 100 times this year, I probably need to try everything out.
You're almost halfway there.
Yeah, I was gonna
and it's
say.
February.
I know. Well, honestly, it's like one of those games I can play a game in 20 minutes. Like, it's quick.
Oh.
Have you played Green Goblin?
I have played one of the Green Goblin scenarios. The one where he's turning everyone else into Green Goblins. I can't think of the name of it. So that one I've played. I think the other one, honestly, is probably, again, made for more people. I did play Ultron. I did win. I played him one time.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I felt pretty good. Cap's tough. And then tomorrow, Wrecking Crew comes in.
Did you order it?
Yeah, my friendly local game shop.
Or are you going to? Okay.
No, they didn't have it, so I ordered it on Amazon Smile, which I've earned us $3.22 You're welcome.
Hot dog.
Hey, if you order
That's, our profit, yeah.
if you order things on Amazon and you're like, man, I just really wish I could give Love Thy Nerd some of that money, go to smile.amazon.com and select Love Thy Nerd as the people's organizations.
Yeah, people's.
The charity of choice.
Charity of choice, because you can also send us $3.22. Yeah, so that was, I play that a lot, and it's just easy. Like, if nothing's going on in the house and I have like a few minutes, I'll just sit down, I'll play a quick game, and that's it. And then now I have this room cleaned up because we're not moving right now, so I can just leave it on the table right there, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
But we also,
What's that extra little?
what? I'm sorry.
Oh, is that the book? What is that?
Oh, that's a comic book
on the right hand side.
It's
Oh, just a comic book.
Mighty Morphin Power
Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah, volume
All
9.
right.
It's volume 9.
Surprise.
Got it for Christmas. Yeah.
Seems like a little cross contamination. Why don't you read that when you're playing Power Rangers? Okay.
Aaron and I have also been watching The Expanse. It's on Amazon Prime. Have you guys watched The Expanse at all?
No, but I've heard it's good. What is it about?
It's on my list.
It is really, really good. It's the future, and there are colonies on Mars, and the Martians are working on terraforming Mars, like people do.
Yeah,
but
wasn't impressed.
Right. But there's also another group beyond called the Belters who live on the asteroid belt. And the Belters are kind of this looked down upon people group. The Earthers, which they call them, and the Martians are kind of always at odds with each other. Like, Earth doesn't want Mars having too much power. Mars wants to be left alone, but they also don't want Earth like butting into their business type of thing. I'm not trying to give too much away, but there turns out to be this weapon that's made that kind of changes the tides of power, and then craziness happens.
Okay.
So we are almost done with season 3, and there are 4 seasons. If you like Star Trek.
Oh, that's consumable.
4 seasons total?
Yeah, 4 seasons
ends
total.
At the 4th season?
No, the 4th season just came out probably a month or 2 ago.
No, but like, are they going to make more after that, or is that the end of it?
I have no idea. I think they're making more. According to IMDb, there are more set up. Like, there's a season 5, episode 1 and 2.
Were you Googling?
Oh, cool.
No, I just wanted to know, like,
he's
IMDb.
Yeah, he was deep enough in it that he was in IMDb territory.
Tell me this. Is it as good as Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Well, I haven't watched it, so yeah.
Are they?
way
I
better.
cannot answer that.
They're in the same genre, are they not?
Yeah, they're pretty much the same
Curb
show.
Your Enthusiasm? Yeah, 100% it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, it's a really, really well done space show. Like, I've had people have compared it to Battlestar Galactica, but like more modern. And I know Battlestar Galactica is either it's your jam forever or it's not. I didn't love Battlestar Galactica. I got bored with it after a while.
Yeah, I should probably, I don't know, watch an episode of it to see if I want to watch more of it or not.
Well, you should watch The Expanse. The first season.
I'm excited about The Expanse.
That sounds
You should.
cool to me, because Steven and I just rewatched The Office for the billionth time.
Well, yeah,
so I need to not do that.
as one does.
As well as not play Red Dead. Add that to the list of things to not do.
Yeah, you should watch The Expanse, and you will also love it. So,
Okay, writing it down.
there is like
Mental note. Got it.
Get past if you don't like the briefest of sex scenes, just fast forward like 3 minutes into the first episode. That's the only one. So,
Okay, well,
that's it.
thanks for a heads up.
Yep. We've also been watching a show, and I'm gonna let you go on, Bubba, because looks like we both watched it. Lego Masters.
I think we can both talk about it.
Yeah, I would love to talk about this.
Oh my.
Lego Masters, to me, there's only been one episode as of the time of this recording. Okay, by the time you hear it, there will be another episode out. I'm just going to go on record and say Lego Masters is the best reality television show that I have ever watched, and there's only one episode of it.
Wow.
Now, I am OG reality TV.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking early Big Brother stuff, We're talking Real World, Road Rules, MTV, like all this stuff. Like
What about Road
I have
Rules versus
watched
MTV?
a lot. Yes, I've watched both of them. I mean, we're talking Cribs. We're talking like all the Project Runway, The Shot,
Oh my
stuff that you've probably
gosh.
never heard of. Anna can tell you if
Next
there
Top Model.
is. I've seen it. If there's a reality television show out there, chances are I have watched it or I want to watch it. Last night, we were watching on YouTube because I had the controller. We were watching Kitchen Nightmares. Like, I love reality
good one.
television. And so Lego Masters it's Will Arnett is basically Deadpool as a host. I mean, he's very self-aware. He's hilarious. He is everything that you would think Will Arnett would be in real life in that show. And so, like, think of Job from Arrested Development.
Yep.
That's basically who he is in real life.
I was thinking that the way he was not acting on Lego Master, like, reminded me so much of seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Arrested Development. Like, just the quick, like, one-liners, like, funny, like, yeah, it's so good, and it's Lego. Like, it's
Lego. The builds are ridiculous.
What about when they drop them? I saw a thing on YouTube. It was just the trailer, and something drops.
They made
not episode 1.
Yeah, at least like the one thing they dropped in episode 1, they over dramatized it in the
cotton candy tree or whatever.
Yeah, a little preview. She's like, "Whoops! Oh, all right." Like, and then she put it back together.
Yeah.
So,
because I saw that on that
well done.
whatever it was preview, some huge tower dropping. And
No,
I think
that's not in episode
it came
1.
at the same time as the skip ad thing, and I'm like, I gotta skip. I can't see it fall. I can't see it hit the ground.
I will tell you though, there's a big, like, for me, like a really big heart tug moment in episode 1, and it's not the emotional one that they set up for. It was like it has everything I want in reality television. It has a thing I'm interested in, which is Lego.
Yeah.
It has really great characters, which if nobody else, it's like Will Arnett. And then that lady from the Ozarks who's got the really big hair and is just like a walking meme.
Oh my gosh.
Every time they cut to her face is always like, woo, you know? I had Anna come back in the room. I'm like, you keep looking away and you're ruining this for me. Come back, let me rewind it. You gotta experience this with me. We will post some pictures on our Twitter account.
Write that down,
Free Play
Kate.
Podcast.
Oh, okay.
And so, like, but it just has everything. And then, the big heart tug moment, and it's got a good build up. And like, even the very end of the episode, like, everything about it was just so good that it makes me want to watch more of it. And then it also has characters in there that I want to hate.
Oh.
And so, like, it has everything in it from top to bottom. So,
Yeah,
It's just,
I was
to me-
super annoyed by a couple of them.
yes.
No, I won't spoil
And so
it
for
here,
me,
but-
Hopefully their
has
Legos fall on the
everything.
ground then.
they will.
Oh,
They
baby.
will. And that team will not make it to the end. We can just see that writing on the wall. So, yeah, I mean, Lego Masters is really, it's everything I wanted. And, like, honestly, for me, like, I had a little bit of a vested interest in it. I don't remember if I mentioned this or not, but my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, they were going to be on this show. And so you can see kind of like they have a lot of tropes in the different, like, pairs, the different teams that they have. They're, pairs of 2. And so they were going to be the, heterosexual couple. Like, that was going to be the trope that they filled. And so I'm not disappointed with who they picked at all, but like, that was my vested interest, was like, oh, okay, well, let's see who they picked to replace them. And so, all in all, great show, like, fantastic.
Yep.
You need to start a Lego Masters podcast where you
Jen and I will start that.
where you talk about each episode. And it could be called Lego Masters Podcast.
Nah, there'll be something better there.
I was hoping something would come to me while I was talking and it didn't. I'm sorry. Anyways.
Yeah. I could, but I won't. Should, but sure.
Busy.
It's fine.
I also also started playing Gloomhaven
Ah, look at you.
this past weekend. And so like we've been talking about this in our game group for a while. And I say for a while, legitimately for a year.
You've had it
we've
for
been
a good
talking
time
about
here,
getting
right? Or did
No, we just
you
got it.
just got it. Okay. I thought you bought it before and just was sitting around.
No, so we talked about having it, and they were like, well, should we get it? And I was like, if you get it, we'll learn it and we'll play it, but you got to get it first. So, like, this guy just got it. He just bought it and brought it. And I was like, okay, here's the deal, though. Like, probably the first night, we're just going to be punching and sorting. And I was texting Matt and sending him messages and like,
That's a
hey,
good
I need an
freaking luck.
adult. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, but he didn't care at all about what I was doing. And I needed his help.
Me?
Like, yes, you.
Well, you had to ask me specific questions.
I said, are you available? And you said, no.
No, I did not. I said, yeah,
And then I said,
am.
Gloomhaven,
What's up?
and you said, get bent.
No, I said, I'm going back to this text right here.
I asked you if you were available, and you said, no, what do you need?
Yeah,
and so that's why I was texting.
We'll
Because,
post
you know,
a
like-
screenshot of the text on our
Hold
Twitter.
on. It says, hey, ... you busy? And I said, what's up? I'm not.
Oh, I thought I sent you, I would have called you then. That's my bad. I thought I sent you, are you available? I said, are you busy? That's my B.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, well-
That's great.
Still, you should have called me when you heard the distress in my text messages.
I thought you figured it out because then you sent me like each thing in its own compartment. I'll send it to Kate. She can put it on the socials. That's
Yeah, send a screenshot of proof of the text and we'll post it.
So I will say this, if you're going to get Gloomhaven, get the Plano boxes.
yeah.
Except everything will fit in there except the dragon and the little three things. I don't know, the 3 hex.
What?
You know what I'm talking about? The little triangles. They look like little triangles. Little 3
you
hex
got the
pieces.
wrong. You got the wrong ones then. Because I got my dragon fits
Wrong
in
ones,
too.
what?
You have the wrong boxes. There's different boxes.
No, we got Plano boxes.
You got plain
I'll
old
tell you.
boxes. Then you get the right ones.
I told him, hey, go get a Dremel and we'll fix this. We'll cut the things. But no, so it's fun. I say that with trepidation in my voice because the first playthrough is not fun. The first playthrough is terribly frustrating because you try and do one thing and then the game's like, nah, you can't do that. Or you've now muddled somebody and you're like, well, what the heck does that even mean? Like, how do I? So you find yourself going back and forth. We got through one room, okay, which for us had like 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it had like 6 or 7 enemies.
How many
in
people
it.
are you playing?
Not a lot. 4 player.
Okay.
Max player count. So the box says 30 minutes per player. Okay, so that's 2 hours.
Jeez.
That's enough for me,
not for a
dog.
starter, yeah.
It took us the entire night, like 5.5 hours, to get through one room, and we think we did it right? Question mark.
It's
Yikes.
fine.
Like- So what actually ended up happening was we got through the first room, and then I had the initiative. So I moved through the door of the next one, and I used a card that gave me jump, which allows me to basically do whatever I want with my movement. I just have to land on a free space. And so I did that, and then there were like archers behind me, and so they came in and they just wiped me out. We were like, maybe we roll it back, and I didn't do that, and we start fresh next time.
JK.
You know, like, yeah, mulligan kind of a deal. Because they were like, hey, do you guys want to play hardcore? And it's like, nah. Talk to
will
me
not
like
want
50
to.
scenarios in, and then maybe we'll play hardcore. But I don't know how to move yet, so let's not do that. But I am playing Cragheart, which the game specifically, when you start out, tells you nothing about any of the characters. And even in the rule book, it's like, yeah, we're not going to give you any information. Just choose what you think looks cool, basically. And so we have, who do we have? We have Cragheart, which is, I don't even know what
Rock bro.
he is. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of like a,
He
Kinda
is
like
he's
not
an
a
elementalist, but he didn't get what he needed.
elemental.
Yeah. But he didn't
Yeah.
get the
He
full
has
power.
some like Heelys and stuff like that.
Weird.
And so then we have the spellcaster, which is like a mage. We have the brute, which is the warrior, and then the vermin, which is kind of the most interesting of the ones that we have. He's basically a rat king. And the Pied Piper, as it were. Yep. It's really fun. Like, I know it's like, okay, well, why would I buy that? Why would I spend $120 on this game?
That's how much it costs.
His game is expensive, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 25 pounds. And so, like, it's a fantastic game once you know what you're doing. I got the helper app, Matt. I downloaded it, and I know you don't like it, but I'm excited to use it.
I hope it goes well for you.
Did you guys use the networking functionality on it?
I think we tried. Honestly,
I'm gonna take that as a no.
I think we did. We only tried it for one scenario, and we were just kind of like, we weren't sold. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
so it has functionality in it where, like, I can set my iPad up as the server app, and then everybody else at the table can connect to it through their iPhone or their Android device, and they can update their own stuff, which does really good because, like, you're not supposed to know who has initiative and all sorts of stuff like that until you reveal. And so it does a lot of the dummy work for us. And I've said this before, I think that apps like that are really great, but they make me a dumber player. With Gloomhaven, I'm okay with that. Like, because we will almost never get started if something doesn't hold my hand while we're playing. Because seriously, I've watched like 3.5 hours worth of content.
That one's long
on Gloomhaven, and I'm like, yeah, I still don't fully understand.
Sort of prepared and still not.
Yeah, and then we're like reading the rules, and it's a whole thing. But anyway, Gloomhaven is fantastic. You should play it. I can't wait to do what my retirement requirement is. I think it's going to be fun. And
well, what is it?
Some of them are like, I'm not going to tell you because maybe the people that are playing listen to this podcast.
You guys don't tell us? You don't tell each other?
No, it says, aren't we supposed to keep it secret?
The retirement one?
Keep it safe?
I didn't think
yeah. Are we not?
You're supposed to keep secret your like mission objective. But your retirement one, I don't think
for each scenario.
I don't think the retirement one is.
Okay, let me do some research because if we can, then I will share it
next week. All right.
Well, better be careful. Best do your research. Otherwise,
yeah, we've seen how well that goes.
Everyone will know your secret.
I also played very briefly. I haven't played a lot of games this week. I've been super busy, but I played. I taught some of the kids that come over, some of our friends' kids. They were like, hey, do you have any new games? Because that's their favorite question to ask.
Nope.
Do you have any new games? And the answer is usually yes. And so the answer was Cristallo. And so I was able to pull it out and show them how to do it. I don't know if they even sat down to play it, but it was good for me to get it out, get it to table. And because that game's just wonderful. It's gorgeous. It's a great solitaire game. And also it's just a good, fun game to play. Like, you can play 1 to 1,000 people. It doesn't matter. It's one of those really fun games. If you don't know what Cristallo is, we will have all the information in show notes for you because it's a game you should have. I think it's published by Zafty, I think is what we basically, yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So it's put out by Lighthearted Games, but it's also like published by Zafty. So do that. Just absolutely wonderful developer and great game and super fun. And if you ever come with us to a trip and they happen to be there, like if Liberty is there, we're going to introduce you to her because she's thebomb.com.
Truth.
But yeah, I mean, those are some of the things that I have been playing. Another thing that's going on like really big in the world, right, is everybody by now knows about this. And this is the coronavirus that is like quarantined from, I think that it is like quarantined Wuhan because that was ground zero for it. I don't know that anybody really knows all the details on it other than it has quarantined Wuhan. And actually we have in our community, if you're not already part of the Love Thy Nerd community, just fix it. Yuri Victor is from Wuhan. And so like they flew everybody out of Wuhan basically. And so he's stateside. I think he's in California right now.
Yep.
And they're still like running tests and doing all sorts of stuff. All that to say, if you have a Kickstarter that you've backed that's supposed to be fulfilling at all, a lot of the Kickstarter stuff comes from China. And it doesn't matter if you're in Wuhan or Hong Kong or wherever, like we're running into Chinese New Year and also this coronavirus outbreak. And your Kickstarter stuff may be delayed right now because of those two things. I was sitting down. We have one of the guys that works on staff with us at our church. His daughter is in Hong Kong, and she posted a picture. Like nobody is even outside in Hong Kong right now. They're all inside. So you've seen the videos on YouTube and stuff for like people trying to cram onto the train and all sorts of stuff. He showed us a picture from her of the train station. There was nobody in it. She was the only person on a bus in Hong Kong. Like there was nobody in the mall. Like their businesses have just shut down for right now.
Jeez.
So all that to say,
you're not getting your games.
Just deal with it, nerds. There are bigger things in the world right now than your little pieces of cardboard.
Oh, come on. My dad's in the Philippines right now, and he sent on a quote-unquote vacation.
Okay. Did he go to see the volcano?
I don't know if he went to see the volcano, which he wanted to see the volcano that exploded, and so I don't think he got to see that.
I think it's erupted, but
I couldn't think of the word.
Same thing.
Dynamite exploded.
So I don't know. He went to see some other stuff, but he sent like me and my brother a picture of. He's been like flying to different islands in the Philippines. He sends a picture, and it showed like when you're in your plane and you're looking at the screen, and it shows the plane and like the little line from where you left and like where you're gonna land, and from where he left, like the next thing over was Wuhan, and I'm like, that was pretty close, Dad. That was a little close. Was it worth it? The snorkeling? Did you enjoy it?
The germs can't get in the ocean.
Being that close,
fine.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess not.
They get bored, remember?
Yeah.
I don't know. Then he said some stuff about the water. I don't know.
Just
what a time to go on
We had
vacation in the Philippines, I guess. So.
Well, so we had friends that also went to the Philippines, and they had a layover in Beijing, like during this time frame. And so they're wearing face masks and all sorts of stuff, and not like football player face masks, but like
medical,
regular medical masks. And so, and they did the same thing. They were like, "Hey, we're in the airport taking pictures, and there's nobody in the airport. Like it is just a ghost town, absolute ghost town."
It's crazy.
But yeah, so hey, sorry nerds about your Kickstarters, but chances are they were delayed anyway. So
yeah, and don't go to the Philippines. The volcano, you can't see it. So as my dad's made clear.
You can't?
No, you can't. It's erupted. It's done.
He boomed-ed.
Well, but it's still there though.
I don't know.
I don't think that's how it works.
I don't know, but I asked my dad to bring my brother and I back some knockoff Kobe Bryant jerseys because
get some lava.
The Filipinos love Kobe Bryant. So I'm like, Dad, they'll have jerseys for cheap.
They're doing they're doing something for him over there next week. I can't remember. But it's like a thank you Kobe kind of a deal. Yeah.
Well, on that
Speaking of
note,
Kobe Bryant, the XFL also launched this week. So
what's that?
The Extreme Football League,
Okay.
but nobody's calling it the Extreme Football League because there is no extreme in it. Like the X of the XFL is a carryover from
Before
2000.
So what do you mean there's no extreme? What's the definition of extreme?
Anything but what's happening in this football league.
Oh, what is it, like flag football?
More or less,
basically.
yeah.
No, it's another pro football option that's not the NFL. And I happen to really like it. Like I enjoy the XFL. I watched all 4 games. I say all 4 games because there are only 8 teams. But it was really great to have more football to watch. So if you are a football nerd and you were kind of worried about not having stuff or whatever, go watch the XFL. Give it a chance. I live in Texas, so we have 2 of the 8 teams in the XFL.
Look
So
at that.
thank you, Vince McMahon and the WWE, for giving us more football to watch. Not a sponsor, but they can be if they want to.
I hope so.
Yeah, hit us up.
I will say that if you guys do go and watch the XFL, they do this thing where like they give you the audio from the coaches and also the audio from the refs. and audio from like 15,000 different things, and they try to interview the players in between each play. I don't like that. I'm not a huge fan. I think it's too much. Just let me watch my football. And also, last but not least, I will put this out there. I think that Fox does 1,000 times better than ESPN does with their coverage.
Boom
Boom
roasted.
roasted.
Boom roasted.
So let it be said. So let it be
Roasted.
said one more time. Yeah. Well, hey guys, I think that's going to do it for us here on the episode 78 of the Free Play Podcast. We're in season 3. Do not adjust your Spotify dials.
What?
But you know, I don't know. Just don't do it. It's probably for the best.
Got it.
Hey, be sure to check us out on Apple Podcast, aforementioned Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, radio.com, really anywhere else that you can listen to podcasts. You can also take the RSS feed and plug it into your podcast listener of choice. And if you can't find us where you listen to podcasts, just let me know. Send me an email, bubba@lovethynerd.com, or hit us up on our Twitter @FreePlayPodcast. Slip into them DMs and we'll get it figured out. If you are not already a part of the Love Thy Nerd Facebook group, like I said earlier, just change that. Just go to Facebook and search for Love Thy Nerd. 2 things are going to pop up. You're going to see our Facebook page and also our community. Do us a favor. Like the page, join the community. All you have to do is answer one simple question. What's up, nerd? And that's it. Really, the reason we do that, I think people feel like we're trying to keep people out. The reason we do that is because when you answer that question, you are forced to read the guidelines of the community. They're not deep. It's really just a lot of common sense stuff to try and keep the peace and allow us to create a safe place for everybody to come and enjoy their fandom. But once you answer that question, we're going to let you in and you'll be good to go. You can also find us, Love Thy Nerd, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @LoveThyNerd on all 3 of those platforms. And be sure, as I've said 100,000 times already, to follow the Free Play Podcast on Twitter, @FreePlayPodcast. Get bent. And once again, I'm Bubba Stalka.
I'm Matt Warmbier. Let's wait for it. She's just choking.
Sorry, I'm Kate Katawaki. Sorry, I had like
Are
a
you
burp.
gonna be all right?
I had a burp that turned into like a choke. Sorry.
Oh,
I don't know what
case of
happened.
gags.
I don't know what. It was weird. Okay.
When in Rome.
Anyways,
Am I right?
Sorry.
Hey, for our cut man, Jonathan Clausen, we'll catch you next week. And remember, if no one else tells you, remember it's true that Jesus loves you, nerds.
You have been listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. Be sure to rate and review the show and share on all the social media.
You gonna be all right?
That was just really weird.